rest of my roaches with those. So he was able to successfully kill that army, although he did lose a lot from it. But he is now moving out with his Immortal army because he knows that he just killed my primary army, and I am also roach teching right now, which I have Zerglings in the mix too, but the initial attack that I did on him was primarily roaches, which Immortals counter very well. Seeing this, I don't have enough defense for it, so I decided to run back into my base, and I immediately spawn a bunch of Zerglings because I know that Zerglings counter Immortals pretty well because their attack doesn't activate the Immortals' hardened shields. So this is enough forces that allows me to actually take down his Immortals. He just doesn't have enough firepower along with his Immortals to really get into these Zerglings, so I walk through that pretty easily. Going back to his base, he is starting some upgrades. He's got his shield upgrades, level 1 going. He is mining pretty solid out of his expansion, so he's not completely out of the game economically just yet, and he's trying to build another Nexus back at his main. So, but the problem is he's still not doing anything about this back ramp here. So, again, I'm just going to exploit this. I've got speed upgraded for my Zerglings as well now, so I'm basically just going to run them up in here and, you know, take this stuff out again. Although, at this point, he does have more Immortals, so I'm not able to take it out quite as easy as it was last time. And for some reason, I decided to go for the Assimilator first. I'm not sure why I decided to do that, quite honestly. But then I come around here and try to take out this Nexus. He's also got a couple of cannons coming in here, which I think goes down too far. And then I come over here and foolishly engage this cannon and these Immortals with my fuse that I do have, and I end up getting picked up pretty quickly here because the Immortals just do a lot of damage. At this point, I started going for Mutalisk tech, so I've got my Spire going here because I noticed how heavy he's going on Immortals in addition to Zerglings. Immortals can't attack air, so Mutalisks are a good thing to have too, because they don't do a ton of damage, so the hardened shields aren't really that big of a factor against Mutalisks, and Immortals cannot attack Mutalisks back, so they are very useful to have in mix with Zerglings so that you can do more damage. And here come out my first group, which I believe I use initially to defend, and then I actually run back here and finish off this base, and then actually go ahead and take out the miners at his expansion as well. I do see that he's got more Immortals building, so I decided to throw up some Spine Crawlers here to help me defend this expansion if he does indeed decide to push out again like he did last time. He has 4 Immortals here and a Stalker. And I think he had more somewhere else. Yeah, he's got 3 more here. So he's got a total of 7 Immortals right now, which is a pretty solid army. So for the time being, I accidentally built this Corruptor too. I know Corruptors can be pretty badass if they're in the right situation, but they are only anti-air, and he did not have any air units, so it was kind of worthless for me at this game. But anyways, nonetheless, he's chilling out there, hanging out with my Spine Crawlers. Sorry, I keep getting used. I'm trying to get used to these Zerg defensive structures still because I'm just not used to all these new names yet. So I've got 9 Mutalisks here. I see the units coming. Take out the Stalker first because he's the one that can actually attack my Mutalisks, and then just start pounding on these Immortals so that I can go ahead and hopefully defend this. They managed to take down my defenses pretty quickly because I didn't have any Zerglings to help out in addition to the Mutalisks. So unfortunately, the Mutalisks don't do damage quick enough to actually hold that off. But here comes some Zerglings to help out too. I think I end up losing this hatchery, but at the same time I take out all of his Immortals, so it's not that big of a loss because he lost a huge amount of expensive units because Immortals are not cheap to build. So basically, yeah, walk through this army and then come back to his base. He still doesn't have anything mining really up here. It is his main original base, and he's very, very low on resources. You can see he's only got just 100 of each. Still mining pretty solid here though. It looks like he's got about 20 miners between his Vespian Geyser and his minerals, which he could have more, but for an expansion that's fine, although that's kind of considered his main, I guess, right now you could say. And basically just sending these. I know he doesn't have anything to defend against these now because his Immortals are gone and he hasn't been building any Stalkers, so he has no anti-air to stop this right now other than the static defense of the cannons at the front of his entrance because he has no cannons back in his main now. And ow, I didn't even realize this, but he apparently has 6 more Immortals back at his base. And he has an observer out in the front of my base, so he knows what I'm doing. But unfortunately for him, I've got air in his base, and he's got nothing to kill air right now. So, anyways, going back to the base here, right now I'm cranking out some Zerglings, just to make sure that if he does push with the Immortals again, which it looks like he's moving out to do right now, I do have sufficient ground forces to hold that off. So basically the rest of this game, I've just decided at this point, I'm going to go Lings and Mutas because he's continuing to build Immortals despite the fact that I'm building straight counters for Immortals at this point. And I'm basically able to clean up this last attacking group of Immortals. And while I'm doing that, I've also got I've got these Mutalisks up at his expansion, taking out the rest of his mining probes to basically finish off his economy. And you can just see here how quickly a handful of Zerglings and some Mutalisks can just walk through these Immortals because the hardened shields just really don't play a huge factor when you've got light attacks. The Mutalisks themselves only do 10 damage, and the Zerglings do 6 damage, so they don't even activate the hardened shields at all, which, you know, is basically what the Immortals are a hard counter for against the higher tech units, and the roaches more so not because of the hardened shields, but because of the damage that they do to roaches because of how quickly roaches heal. And at this point, blue doesn't really have anything going on, so he's got, let's see here, yeah, 10 miners. Now even less that I've taken a few of those out. His Nexus up at his main base is gone again because I took that out with my Mutalisks earlier. And he basically got these 5 cannons defending the remaining, units and buildings that he has. So there's not much you can do at this point. The game's pretty much over. He GG's here in a second. And basically that's the game. So anyways, thank you for watching. And please recommend my stream, or I'm sorry, not my stream, but my YouTube channel to anybody else. I know I'm not on the level of Husky the Husky just yet, but I'm working my way there. And hopefully I'll be able to bring you guys a lot more of these VODs. Please feel free to leave comments if there's any specific matchups or strategies you'd like to see. I'd be happy to get as many of those out there as I can. Also, I know I've done commentary primarily on my own games and my friends' games, but if there's any good replays out there that you guys know of, or any tournaments going on that you would like to see shoutcasting for, and know where I can get the replays, I would be happy to do that if I can get a hold of the replay files. So please feel free to message me with any of that information as well. Again, thanks for listening. My name is Achaia, and GG.